I can't say I'm the winner. I'm not the winner. I live in the world. I take photographs for my own healing, for my own sanity, for our community's sanity, I guess, collective healing or collective trauma healing, etc. This recognition is for all of us, for the people who have supported me from start to now, for the people who have stood in front of me and gave me an opportunity to photograph them. This is for them. For the communities that I serve in South Africa and that I support in various fields and projects and all, this is for them. I was mentored by David Goldblatt, and I approached him. It's not like he asked to mentor me. I approached him. And I asked him if he could mentor me because I needed guidance. And I needed guidance from someone who is not queer, who is not trans, who is not a member of our community, a person whose approach to life was that of a father figure. So I got to study abroad, and he covered for my fees. And what I learned from him is to pay forward, and also when giving, you also extend the love. So I'm doing the same. Yeah, every year we have students who go to market for a workshop, who get support from Muholi Productions and Muholi Arts Institute, because this is the guy who did the same for us to be able to say who we are, for us to be able to, to share the beauty of photography with many people in different parts. So that was same as the Goldblatt. So I've been tracking and tracing a history that is not often written about in the way that I want to read it. Yeah. So it is the consistency that I'm talking about when it comes to this recognition. To say that we could write the books that we want to read, and we owe it to ourselves. To say that we could visualize a world in which we want to live, because it's possible but not there. To say we want to walk at galleries and museums and see people like us who have produced that content, because the state might not have resources or might decide to use resources differently than to project us in this manner. In my head, we should not be presented when we are victims of hate crimes. We cannot be presented as dead bodies. We are the now that we want to see when we walk at museums. We want to see us at biennales of the world. We want to say, I know the curator, and that curator is one of us. We want to live beyond pride, because we live as queer and trans people for 365 days of the year. It should not always be when we are victims of anything. I want to make sure that we allow that space to breathe and live without fear, of being who they are, of who we are, because oftentimes we are othered and we are seen as they in the eyes of the mainstream. The mainstream media have distorted the queer and trans voices. There is no other thesis or dissertation that I could write better than Faces and Phases. So I wanted to change the status quo. I wanted to change that visualization and presentation of my people. Not that I own people, but my people as in like me being an insider in the LGBTQIA+ community of Africa, to be specific. To say, when I say to any person, I'm proudly South African, I'm saying that from my all, from the depth of my heart and all. To say that this photography is my responsibility, that nobody can do it better than me, because I'm speaking from an insider's perspective or point of view. I know how it's like to grow up in the township. I know and understand about education. I understand how the curriculum could easily distort our voices. So now it's my duty as part of this journey to make sure that it's scripted the way I live it. It has taken longer than how scholars write their dissertations, but I'm okay with that. I'm happy for the fact that I get to work with the scholars, I get to work with the artists, I get to be part of the activist, agenda, because I belong in all of those spheres. And for me, there's a need to bring these faces and phases as part of these triple A's, between the arts, activism, and academia. Because if there are any hierarchies, any classifications, it would mean that we are shortchanging ourselves. So why these faces and faces? Because we're present, we matter, we are taxpayers, so nobody's doing us a favor. So that face that attends to your needs whenever you go to the bank, to school, to the clinic, has their own phase. And it is those phases that need to be projected and be brought into book so that a lot of lives are saved. Because for your existence and my existence, somebody's life is saved. You're speaking for those who are silenced. You're speaking for a woman who's forced into a marriage that she doesn't want to be in. You're speaking to a young person who so much wishes to be out but cannot be out because of the family setting that is in place. You're speaking to the teacher who is so, suffocated in the closet. She can't because of her position and also the rules and regulations that is attached to that person's contract. So basically, faces speaks to the visuality, like the face itself, and then the face speaks to the many phases and stages of one's life and the development most of all, and the progress on top of that. Because we can't just be queer, we can't just be trans, we can't just be lesbian and gays. We have lives after all, We have love and lives and positions and jobs, and our existence pays many people's bills because we matter.